And I can only imagine how amazing this would look on the big screen. Fires the dragon minigun into the belly of the steel beast, disintegrating Yushin out the other side, you know? Then reuses the momentum of the gun swinging around to get back into the helicopter. That would have been a cool stunt. And even cooler that back in those days there was no CGI, so they really had to do it, you know, with real helicopter and all that. It is amazing. Maybe like tie Rambo's sly stunt that double to the gun and swing him around and shit. It would be pretty cool. Yeah, so Yushin's blasted out the other side. Fish food to the waters below. I can only reference that to Rambo and Teasel and the fish food from Blood 72. That's one of the most classic chapters of all time, when Teasel actually breaks the law himself to capture Rambo, you know, causing a traffic accident and all that, and Rambo's at the reservoir looking down at the fish, and Teasel's like, fuck, he did it to me again, you know? And they get into that fight, and there's like pages of Rambo thinking of ways in his head he could disarm Teasel and kill him and throw him over the bridge to get eaten by the fish below, because they're standing on a bridge over like a fish reservoir. So it's pretty funny. But anyway, if you want to hear more about that, go check out our review for First Blood 72 or Blood 72 back in season 1, early season 1. So the other pilot, getting back to this book, the other pilot jumps from the chopper, and Rambo commandeers the chopper, and then he like flies back to the camp, destroys everything, destroys the whole fucking camp, everything. Much more graphic than in the movie. Parks grabs the dragon gun, takes care of loose ends all around the camp, saves the POWs. I think someone's actually even thrown into the slime pit, or shot into the slime pit at close range, and he gets the POWs, flies off into the sunset. And the chopper is pretty damaged, but becomes more damaged when Podolsky follows suit in his giant Chinook-like helicopter, a beast-like war machine, and they fire back and forth. The cockpit takes damage, and Rambo is struck, I think, in the rib cage again, and he's bleeding out. It gets pretty bloody, like Rambo gets hurt really bad. And the chopper, you know, eventually goes down, and in the smoke, as a decoy, Rambo plays possum, then dragon guns the fuck out of Podolsky's ship, and it's raining victory and human remains and fire and carnage, and they celebrate in talks of Star Wars and Ronald Reagan's presidency, and the POWs can't fucking believe it. They're like, what the fuck happened back home, you know? And U.S. Command Center receives Rambo's transmission that he's coming with the American POWs, and Murdoch's scared and not having it. You know, he orders everyone out, tells his lackeys Erickson and Lifer Doyle to destroy the incoming evidence via gunship, but Troutman's ready for them once they suit in that chopper with a live M16. Troutman himself is pushed and creeps up behind them into the back of the helicopter, aiming the live M16 at the back of their heads. And then Rambo lands and grabs the M60. It might be the dragon gun, or it might be an M60 also, but it's one of the two. I can't believe I can't remember, because I remember usually just hearing, unless the dragon gun was like fixed into the helicopter and he runs around with the M60 freeing the POWs. And in this part, I'd like to prefer it to be the dragon gun, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, so he grabs the gun, he jumps off the helicopter, blood-soaked, leaving footprints of blood as he walks into the hangar. Troutman signals the okay. Rambo blows the shit out of the whole fucking compound hangar, then sets his eyes and his sights on Murdoch, corners him with the smoking barrel almost in Murdoch's mouth, right up in his face. And Rambo, are you ready for this? Rambo pulls the fucking trigger. But it's empty. And so is Murdoch, because he shits himself and it goes everywhere. Eventually, down and out his pant legs onto the floor, Rambo gives him the mission accomplished. Find him or I'll find you. And exits. So, he comes out and he exchanges words with Troutman. And the thing here that, again, makes me cry is imagining Krenna's amazing acting ability. The father-son element, the speech element, it just, Morel culminates it here better than in the movie. You know, in the movie I heard they had to do that speech a couple of times to get it just right, because they were unsatisfied with that speech. Came off a little bit cheesy in the movie, but in this, it comes out spot on. Spot on. And I think also in the movie too, you gotta take into the weight of, you know, are we gonna make Rambo cry again at the end of the movie, or is Rambo gonna be pissed off and walking off into the sunset? If they went for the latter, it would have been cool to see Rambo kind of break down again, to expel these demons, like at the end of the First Blood, you know, as a cleansing. But yeah, Sly didn't really deserve it right. Well, you know, I can't say that. That's bad of me to say, because you know what? I've cried a couple of times hearing Sly give this speech. Just like almost every time I hear him give the other speech from First Blood, I fucking cry my ass off. It's kind of sad that he doesn't do that in the third one, but you know, case in point, this was done really well. So I'm sorry, Sly, if I offended you, but you know. So Rambo, you know, and Troutman are talking, and outside, you know, Rambo's signaling the POWs as he starts to walk on, and as he goes, Banks, the trickster POW, I call him that because of the snakes, more so in Cameron's vision of the sequel. He's really funny with the snake traps he sets, and he yells to Rambo as Rambo's walking off, "Hey man, good job." And I love the ending to Cameron's version too of the script. It's very emotional, but this one is way more emotional. This one's just like, because you get what we were talking about in the beginning with, you know, Rambo being just wanted to be told he did a good job, you know, a pat on the back, some recognition. And the POW, Banks, he's just like, you know, good job. And it means something from him rather than maybe Troutman, because they're formed by that psychological bond of what they've just went through. And it means a lot more, you know, that Rambo is the White Knight, or the Dark Knight, however you want to put it. So with that, Rambo walks off into the sunset to live out day by day to walk on into the sequel and the follow-up. So let me know what you guys think, and thanks, you know, thanks for sticking through this whole big episode tonight, this monster broadcast. I'm not gonna waste any more time. I'm gonna, you know, bring out our very special guests, the one and only. Such a privilege and a pleasure, and I'm so proud to you know, to bring this guy out, and it's just a dream come true. So I give you now our interview with Rambo creator David Morel. Enjoy. making his RAMBOMANIA debut. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Official. Bam. Video call. 3, 2, 1. Blast off.